But today on Capitol Review, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history comes to an end. Reaction from both sides of the aisle and what's next for Congress. And later, we're inching closer to 100 days of the Trump administration's takeover of the District Police Department. We talk with the director of the U.S. Marshals Service, Gadi Sarwalta. This is Capitol Review. Taking a look at the U.S. Capitol today as the government is officially reopened. Hello and welcome to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. President Donald Trump officially signing the bill into law Wednesday night. It took 8 Democrat senators to get President Trump's funding bill over the finish line after 43 days. With the government shutdown now over, services are set to resume as normal. Federal workers are now back on the job, with the first wave of workers expected to be paid Saturday. Several Smithsonian museums opened Friday, with the remainder reopening on a rolling basis Monday. And a spokesperson for the USDA says that SNAP benefits should be available within 24 hours of the government reopening for most states.
I was dismayed to hear both sides blaming the other. They put the American public in the middle. It's really a very childish way to conduct civic life.
The FAA pausing flight cancellations at 6% across 40 major airports. Normal operations will resume when transportation officials determine it's safe to do so. Joining us is Dr. Todd Belt, a political science professor at George Washington University. Professor, welcome back.
Great to be with you again, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
We're glad to have you as always. The longest government shutdown is now over. What stands out?
Well, I think what really stands out is that the Democrats didn't get very much out of this. They got that promise of an up-down vote on those Affordable Care Act enhanced subsidies. But other than that, and they got some minor provisions, such as making sure that the people who were laid off during the shutdown would be rehired. I guess that's not minor if you were one of them. And a promise that people would get the back pay, which was required under law, by the way, but Donald Trump was threatening. So it doesn't look like they got much done here. This is kicked down the road till January 30th. And some of those 8 Democrats who sided with the Republicans said we can have the fight again then, because there were 3 of the 12 provisions for the budget put through. There's another 9 that need to be passed. So this isn't over yet.
Let's say come January, we're at this again, and the Republicans still don't give the Democrats those ACA subsidies. Does that give the Democrats some momentum as we get even closer to the midterms?
Well, I think it might, and here's why. The Senate has said that they want the promise was to have an Affordable Care Act vote up or down for 1 year by mid-December. And there's some in the House who are actually talking about making it a 2-year extension. To me, this was never really made sense for the Republicans to oppose this, because we have an election coming up, the midterm elections, when the president's party usually doesn't do well, and it would be in their interest to make sure that those provisions are funded through next November, because 3 out of 4 of those recipients of those subsidies are in red states. So I think we will probably get the up or down vote. If the Republicans vote against it, this is going to give Democrats a lot of campaign material going into the midterm elections, especially if this is right before Christmas, and say, this is the Grinch that stole your health care.
Professor, what's the key to prevent another shutdown from happening?
I think the real key is to get some of these people together to start writing the bills. I mean, we haven't had regular order of budget bills passed since the 1990s, and they need to get their teeth in here and start working on this. I know they're going to go on vacation over Thanksgiving. They have some time during December, and they'll come back in earnest in January. But they need to figure out what they're going to do on these ACA provisions and what they're going to be doing to fund the government. Obviously, the president has his priorities in this budget, as do Republicans and Democrats, but they have to broker a compromise because they're going to have that 60-vote threshold once again that they need to get over.
Dr. Todd Belt, thank you so very much for joining us.
Great to be with you. Thanks for having me on.